Better take the snooze. I know the other side. Better take the snooze.
Love interrupted by tragedy, lost in the drought of nightfall, running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all. Focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know she'd rather keep her distance, but as time moves on, she's drifting away from me. But did the ocean breeze?
Yes, Ocean Breeze sounds good about right now. Good morning to you. On today's show, I'm calling out dumb ish that needs to be called out. Among other topics, please like and in particular share this show as we get started this morning. Today's show is brought to you by my friends over at Renew Community Church. They got a brand new series that was created to inspire you so you can live your best life. And you'll hear more about it during the rest of today's show. Good morning to you. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, you can always leave a comment in the chop shop. You can always hit me up with a phone call, 513-873-7134. Let's give it about 90 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes or so, just to share as much as possible. And then we'll get started. Don't go anywhere.
Birds fly south for the winter, but you ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know you don't wanna burn bridges, but as time moves on, you slipping away from me. But did the ocean breeze pacify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself, on the run from yourself. You thought the grass was greener, but she was safe all along.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the last honest place in Cincinnati media. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get into it, shall we? How was the last 24 hours? Hope you're doing well. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I think we can do something about that. Hope the last 24 hours were good to you. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, good morning. Let's get into it, shall we? Well, shall we start this morning? Many things to discuss. People, politics, and pleasure. I got some local topics for you. It's going to be a big meeting today, a big meeting between CPS, because Cincinnati is a series of big meetings. A big meeting between CPS and SORTA, as they're still trying to sort this out. Again, heads should roll about this. For 4 decades, they had this plan in place. It all comes down 2 weeks before school starts. Unfair. 2 weeks before school start, and here we are in the middle of a damn pandemic. Very unfair. Very unfair to the parents. Very unfair to the students. Basically, it's some dumb-ish. Basically. And what's the purpose of having a public meeting after the decision has already been made? What I would like to hear from the big meeting today between SORTA and CPS school board is what I would like to hear is that SORTA is going to put the ball in motion so they can go back to provide the extra bus routes at some point during this year. Like I said, we did the math. It's real simple. Between now and January is 5 months, right? You telling me SORTA can't sort this out in 5 months? You're going to have a natural break for the winter, for Christmas. Kids will be off. CPS will be closed for 2.5 weeks. Students come back in January 2022. Boom, we got the extra bus rides. Okay. It's inconvenient for half the year, but for the rest of the year, boom, we back in business. Why can't that happen? Why is this so simple? Why isn't this so simple? It seems very simple to me. It's official. John Cranley, your mayor, is made it official. He is going to run for governor. And we have a real conundrum. We got a real conundrum because the current governor has no spine and John Cranley has no penis. So what do? We stuck. Oh, but then there's Nan Whaley. She was actually in Cincinnati. Matter of fact, she was at Black Coffee. Think about this. Of all the places in Ohio that she could go to kick off her gubernatorial race, she came to Cincinnati and went to Black Coffee. Of all the businesses in Cincinnati, she came to Cincinnati and went to Black Coffee. If you don't know, it's a Black-owned coffee house, as the name implies, in downtown Cincinnati. And she came to that location of all the places in Cincinnati. I want you to read that for me. Why? And while I wasn't there for the press conference, I read it afterward. And what we found out is that she's really touting like livable wages, $15 per hour, things like that. So I'm thinking to myself again, I asked, why would she come to Cincinnati, number one, which makes sense. But why of all the places did she go to Black Coffee, a Black-owned business? Is it because that Vice President Kamala Harris was recently in Cincinnati and she stopped there? Why has Black Coffee become such an epicenter for politicians? I'd like to get your thoughts about that. I got a few thoughts I want to share with you this morning at 513-873-7134. Dr. Umar Johnson is 100% on dumb-ish. I finally got a chance to catch up. I know him a few months back, if not longer than that. He sat down with the Godcast, right? He sat down with them folks, and the interview was absolutely straight comedy. Props to media types that are not afraid to hold guests accountable, even a guest like Dr. Umar Johnson. They basically beat me to it. And I thought it was quite interesting. I mean, Dr. Umar Johnson is on 100 miles of dumb-ish. Talking about, I don't have to ask no questions if you're not a donor. Look at that. Then why would I ever become a donor? What you mean you're not going to answer no questions? Sound like a con artist to me, but I've stayed out of that fight, but I caught up within the last 24 hours, and I just had to share with you. 1,000 miles of dumb-ish is coming out of that man's mouth. He sound he sounds like he won the Breakfast Club, and we be talking that black stuff. He sound like he on point, but when he gets to that school, 1,000 miles of dumb-ish comes out of his mouth. It is ridiculous. We'll talk about it. 513-873-7134. Leave Nick Cannon alone. I'll say it again. Leave Nick Cannon alone. I don't care about what he said on his podcast last year. It's YouTube. That's what people do on YouTube. If you don't like it, don't go to his page. Simple as that. Or what does he mean? What does he know what the fuck he meant? And he made a point. It might be insensitive. It might be impolite. But you can't tell them, you can't say there wasn't some elements of truth in what their brother had to say. Now people are back again criticizing Nick Cannon because he got a whole bunch of baby mamas. Why do you care if he got a whole bunch of baby mamas? He got money. He taking care of his kids. He went on the Breakfast Club most recently, and he broke it down so eloquently. He said that basically he doesn't ascribe to like Eurocentric, models of behavior, including when it comes to fatherhood. That's what he said. He said that he felt as if, having kids with just one woman is a Eurocentric way of fatherhood, and he don't ascribe to that. And now whether you think it's some dumb ish or not, them his kids. Raise your hand if you're sending Nick Cannon's baby mamas any money. If you're not, mind your own damn business, man. Leave that man alone. Let him go do what he do. God damn it. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. I honestly don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start this morning. I'm just so beside myself, man. We are living in a land of dumb shit every single day. Again, this thing with sorta and CPS is the dumbest thing that I've seen in a long time. Who does this? Like, check it. No matter what the plans are, who puts a plan in place 2 weeks before parents are supposed to find out? And so to me, this whole move with sorta is yet another example of how we, and by we I mean it very, very loosely, but how there is a running theme of disrespect toward the parents of CPS. There is a running theme of disrespect toward the parents of CPS. Number one is how parents are treated when they interact with CPS. Now, of course, I'm speaking in general terms, but I'm also on some real shit this morning. So don't even try to stop these flows. Don't even try. It's not going to happen. It's a running theme of the disrespect towards CPS parents. Number one, for years and years and years, when you have issues with CPS, and it's still true to this day, and school board members know about it, you can't call anybody. You ain't got nobody to turn to. You got an issue at your school, and God forbid you have an issue with the administrator at your school, the principal, the assistant principal. You have nowhere to turn at all. Nowhere. There ain't no number. If you call to a school board member, they're gonna tell you to go back and talk to this person. Like, you'll check it. Unless you got a personal relationship with the superintendent, you can't get nothing done. That's disrespectful. Off the top. Number two, Gabriel Taye, which I will never stop talking about until I die. The way that boy and his family was treated was disrespectful to each and every CPS parent. If you're a CPS parent, I can't understand why you don't believe the same way. If they would do that to him, they would do that to you. That could have been your boy. That could have been your child. Raise your hand if you disagree. And put your fucking hand down. How you disagree with that is facts. This a running theme of disrespect toward the parents. The way the school board dealt with COVID, a running theme of disrespect to the parents. I'm asking these school board members back in February, like, well, why don't you put out a poll? Why don't you ask the parents? I guess that would have been a good idea. You think? You think so? And so now this whole situation with sorta is just par for the course. It's a running theme of I don't give a you know what when it comes to CPS parents. That's what I see. Tell me I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm calling out dumb shit this morning. Hopefully you can get into it. That's what I'm doing. You can't feel that? Hit me up tomorrow or come back another day. That's what I'm on this morning. A running theme of disrespect towards CPS parents. And this whole situation with sorta, it's just the latest example of it, quite honestly. It's the latest example of it. Terrible communication between CPS for years and years and years and parents. Disrespect to parents. Disrespect to parents. And so now you want to change the busing 3 weeks before school starts. Another slap in the fucking face towards CPS parents. We don't care about you. Notifying you about what's going on don't really matter. Just like they did to parents of Gabriel Taye. Your son's unconscious on the bathroom floor. Do we need to call you? Nah. Stop me when I'm wrong. 513-873-7134. Please tag somebody on Facebook that needs to hear this, please. Because you're not going to get this anywhere else. It's the only place you can get it is right here on the Nathan Ivey Show. Fearless and tearless commentary is what I deliver to you about what's happening in our local environment. And it needs to be said. You know what I'm saying? They, sort of pointing fingers at CPS pointing fingers is sort of. Listen, I see a common theme here. The disrespect of the parents. You want to take our kids and do whatever the hell you want to do. Black kids 5 times more likely in CPS to be given exclusionary discipline. If that's not disrespect, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Stop me when I'm wrong. I'm blaming everybody. If you think I'm talking about you, I am. I am this morning. I'm calling out the dumb shit. It needs to be called out. John Cranley got some balls on him, don't he? He got some kahunas. The nerve of him to want to run for governor after he did a terrible job as the mayor of Cincinnati. Terrible job. Tell me what he's accomplished? I want to know, for John Cranley supporters out there, I want to know what John No Penis Cranley has done in the 8 years he's been in office of any substance whatsoever. And let me take something off the board. You can't say the FC Cincinnati Stadium, because that project was going to go through no matter who the mayor was. Now, yeah, John Cranley was a cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? He definitely was. He had his FC Cincinnati colored tie. As a matter of fact, I think it was an FC Cincinnati tie. He had his little, his terrible towel. He had a whole 9 yards, but that deal was going to go through no matter who the mayor was. The way that John Cranley handled the social unrest last year was absolutely terrible, to the point where local judges in Hamilton County was basically lambasting him, criticizing him from the bench. What has this man accomplished? Why, as a Cincinnati resident, would I even consider voting for him for governor? One man has no spine, the other one has no penis. It's like 6 of one, half of the other. What? I'm just, if there's any John Cranley supporters out there, I would love to know why I should vote for this man for governor. And I don't give a damn who the governor is. Why should I vote for him? What has he done other than lie to us? I'm going to lift 5,000 kids out of poverty. Never happened. Never happened. They put together a website. They had a couple of meetings and they said, you know what? Can't do anything about it. It's a state problem. That's exactly what they did. They got a website. What has this man done? I can't think of it. I'm struggling. Now, on a personal level, I'm sure that John is a great guy. I'm sure that this ain't personal John Cranley. Every time I see John Cranley, he's always nice to me. And I'm always friendly to him. I'm sure he's a great guy. But as a citizen and as a pundit, I got to ask, what have you done, man? What have you done? I'm struggling. I'm sure there's a list of superlatives. Can somebody find it, please, and send it to me? Because I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it. And I'm not going to act like I see it, and I really don't. I would love to know. I would love to know. Please educate me. Educate us this morning. Because John Crenley is kicking off his gubernatorial race. I like saying that word, gubernatorial. I love to say that word, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Here it is. Cincinnati Mayor John Crenley is running for Ohio governor. Really? Really? Sets up a Democratic primary battle with fellow Gen X mayor, really that's hip hop generation, Nan Whaley of Dayton, who by the way was in Cincinnati yesterday. She had a press conference down, big press meeting down at Black Coffee. See, my thing is you go to Black Coffee, but did the people involved let Black media know? I didn't get a notification. I had no idea until afterward. We got to do a better job of letting Black media in Cincinnati know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? To whoever's involved, I'm talking to you. You got to do a better job. You go to a Black-owned restaurant, a Black-owned establishment, but did you invite Black media? These mofos keep missing the boat. Somebody's got to do better. It's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Everybody getting it this morning. Because they deserve it. So they're going to have this Democratic primary battle between Nan Whaley, who I need to catch up on and get more information about, and also John Crenley. I will. And again, I hope to reach out to all the people involved. I want to talk with our current governor who has no spine, Mike DeWine. I want to talk with the current mayor who has no penis, John Crenley. And I want to talk with Nan Whaley as well, and any other gubernatorial candidates as well, here on this show, so that we can get a better sense of who they are and what they might represent. I don't know, maybe my mind might change. But as I stand here right now, I'm thinking, Slim Pickens. Slim Pickens. Slim Pickens. So we shall see. We shall see what's going to happen. I mean, does John Crenley have a name outside of Cincinnati? Why would he? Shit. What would he? So this will be really interesting. Do people outside of Cincinnati know Nan Whaley? So this will be very interesting to see how this all shakes out. But again, from my perspective in Cincinnati, I'd like to know. Now, I'm not saying that John Crenley don't say some good shit. Here's a quote from him. The policies of the corrupt one-party rule have failed Ohio's middle class. He's right about that. The policies of the corrupt Republican Party that's been running things statewide in Ohio have failed the middle class. He's right about that. They're doing a terrible job because these mofos run around here trying to liberate the gun crowd. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the Republican majority, in my opinion, has not done a damn thing worth anything either, in my opinion. Run around here like 2-3 years ago, didn't we have a mass shooting in Dayton? There has been no substantive legislation coming from the Ohio General Assembly since then. These motherfuckers ain't did a damn thing, but are running around on some dumb ish, which I'm calling out this morning. And John Crenley has some ambitious proposals. Like I said, I mean, I keep it real with you. You know, the whole legalizing marijuana, that's low-hanging fruit. Who's not for legalizing marijuana right now? Everybody is. I'll say it again. John Crenley, if you're listening, John Crenley's people, if you're listening, that's easy. Everybody's for legalizing marijuana. The issue is, are Black people going to get a significant piece of the pie? Who's going to get rich off of it? That's the real question. Everybody, raise your hand if you're against legalizing marijuana. I see no hands. Everybody's for legalizing marijuana. Marijuana in Ohio should have been legalized 15 years ago. We know that. But who's going to get paid? Who's going to get paid? That's the real question. We shall find out together, my friends. 513-873-7134. You're in the right place. This is exactly where you should be this morning. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, where nothing is funnier than the truth. Men are allowed to be men, and of course, sucker MCs get dealt with as always. Ray writes good risings all. She's on the Chop Shop on Spreaker. Brenda writes Happy Tuesday. Sharp writes Good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Miss T writes Good morning, good people. What's up, Miss T? Good morning. She writes, them babies 12 and 13 that may have no bus service, that's so young, and try to catch a regular bus, shaking my head, right. Another See, I'm gonna put this sort of thing between CPS and its proper context. It's another slap in the face to CPS parents. Does anybody give a damn about CPS parents for real? I'm saying, does anybody really care? I know they do. But we need a higher concentration of those individuals because I gave you a short list of things I've seen over the last few years that just make me shake my head, including my own experiences. I'm a CPS parent. I got two kids at CPS. One is on her way out and one is just entering. So we got a relationship for the next 10 years. I ain't going nowhere. I might even have to get a little closer to make sure that our babies are taken care of the way they really should be. Meanwhile, you got school board members taking a whole bunch of pictures, smiling, ain't saying shit. I'm calling all of it out. I see a whole bunch of shaking hands and taking pictures, but what policies do you support? What are you gonna fucking do? Put that on Facebook. I'm seeing endorsements. I'm seeing photographs. I'm seeing people showing their gums and their teeth, their pearly whites. Great teeth. I can see you go to the dentist. That's great. But what are you gonna do? What policies do you support? I'm anticipating a whole bunch of when it comes to the interview time. Well, let me get back to you on that. I don't want to hear that. CPS parents deserve better than that. Do your fucking homework. Come up with some creative ideas. Inspire us. Voters deserve to be inspired. I want to be inspired by candidates. Like, yeah, this person gonna get it done. These folks gonna get it done. I ain't seeing that. I'm seeing a whole bunch of like photographs at local breweries and endorsements and smiling and holding hands and we like each other. I don't care about none of that. Zero. But what do you think? 513. I'm aggressive, huh? Yeah. We need more aggressive black people in media here. We got too many pushovers. People want to be smiling. They don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't give a damn about saying it. I'm going to say the wrong thing on purpose. No more Cincinnati polite. No more of that. We just going to smile and we going to get along and we going to be friends. I know how the game works. It's all about relationships. But if I got to kiss ass to be your friend, then we're not really friends. If I got to be less than myself to be accepted, then I'm just not going to be accepted. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? If this ain't your brand of local talk radio, then I'll see you later. We'll holler at you. That's all I got to give you. I only know one way to do it. Let me see. Let me go back into the chop shop this morning. Miss T is FC Cincinnati can't even win any games, so that's a buzz too. Yeah. At least we got a brand new stadium. You got the soccer environment. Like I said, I plan on going to a game. I might take the whole family and enjoy it. We'll see. I would like to see a win, though. We deserve winners. We deserve winners in Cincinnati, not just also-rans. We so content with being also-rans just so we can have an experience. I don't give a damn about the experience. I want winning. That's what I want to see from my Cincinnati teams. And nothing less than that is going to do for me. That's it. Tabitha writes, be blessed this morning, all. I'm on one this morning. I can feel it. I know. I'm going to try. Oh, speaking of being blessed, let me do my prayers. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. Okay, I'm cool. Cruther writes, good morning, choppers. With a whole lot of S's. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Good morning to you, Deborah. Anthony writes, good morning, chop shops. Eloise is in the house. She writes, good morning. Jerome writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Good morning to you. Janice writes, good morning. Good Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. Yes, it is. Yes. Just want to enjoy this Tuesday morning. Yes, it is. Anthony writes, like and share, fam. Absolutely. Brenda writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Brenda. Tabitha writes, be blessed this morning to all. Absolutely. Tiff writes, good morning, all. I might have some Nino Brown with you. I lost contact with Nino Brown for a little while, but I plugged back into him the last few weeks. That brother is a prophet from God. Nino Brown is a prophet from God. And he may share some of his witticisms with us this morning. Regina writes, good morning, good people. Make it a great day. Good morning to you. Glenn writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Janice writes, DeSantis of Florida threatened to take money from school districts that require mask mandates for students. Ron DeSantis is a damn fool. And the longer he stays in office, the more in danger he's going to put the people of Florida. Simple as that. It sounds like a damn fool, but we knew that because he was a Trumpster, and not just a Trumpster, but like a lapdog Trumpster. Like, he would go to Trump's office and Trump would pet him like a little Labrador, like a little Chihuahua. Come over here. Come over here. Yeah, let me pet you. But that's what the people of Florida wanted. They could have had the gay black guy that liked to party too hard and fall asleep in his own vomit. Remember that guy? He might have been better. He might have been better. When he wasn't falling asleep with his own vomit in hotel rooms with male escorts. Yeah. Oh my God. Deshauna writes, good morning, Nathan and all. Let's get this day started. I like the way that sounds. David writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Anthony writes, sis, that guy's the biggest idiot I've ever seen. You talking about Ron DeSantis? If I lived in old Florida, I wouldn't have voted for his ass, but I don't live in Florida, so it is what it is. If you're just tuning in, a couple things you need to know about locally. Number one, CPS and SORTA are going to have a big meeting today, and we'll see what comes out of it. What I hope comes out of it is SORTA says, you know what? We can't go back to the original plan by the start of school, but we'll work on it. And by January of 2022, which is 5 months away from now, then we'll go back and provide the extra bus routes, or we'll add the extra bus routes. Hopefully that'll happen. Now, is that logistically possible considering that there's a bus driver shortage? I don't know. And props to those people that don't want to slave on other people's plantations. And I know the reason why is because the concept of a dream job has changed. See, it used to be people used to dream about getting a job, getting you one of them good jobs. You know, the kind of job where they appreciated you. You can stay on the job for 20, 30 years and retire, get them good benefits, right? That's the old shit. The bosses, the employees, they blew all of that. People sick of going on jobs and being underappreciated, being underpaid. Who wants to do that? The new dream job is a job where you work for yourself. Holla if you hear me on that. That's the new dream job. And COVID forced people to get by with less and figure out different ways. And that's what they're freaking doing. I ain't going back to this man plantation. I'm going to create my own situation. I'm going to create my own experience, my own platform. That's what people are doing. Oh, I can get by without doing this and dealing with this dumb shit every day? Okay, later for that. If you want people to return to work, increase the pay, increase the benefits, increase the appreciation, and people will show up. It's not that people don't want to work. I'm calling out the dumb shit. I keep hearing people don't want to work. No, they just don't want to work on somebody else's plantation for a little bit of nothing, dealing with a boss with an attitude. You got absolutely no guarantees that you may have a job day to day. You're subject to the whims of your boss. I mean, Ohio is an at-will state. I'll say it again. Your boss could walk into your office today and say, yabba dabba doo, you got to go, right? And your ass got to go. Period. Who wants to do that? I know I don't. Do you? Hell no, you don't want to do that shit. It's people working every single day trying to figure out a way to leave their job. I know people doing it. It's like, man, I got to get my hustle on. They don't want to do that shit. Why would you? They're smart, intelligent people with skills. They're creative people. They want to go create their next opportunity. That's the new dream job. And the bosses blew that. Boss with an attitude. Every other day, you don't know what the hell's gonna go happen. You don't know how he or she's gonna walk into the workplace, treating you like you don't matter, underpaying you. Who want to do that? I'm not gonna do it. Are you gonna do it? Well, you gotta make your own decision. You gotta make your own decision. That's what's going on this morning. Carmelita writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Good morning to you. Terrence writes, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Terrence. Ronald writes, good morning, Chop Shop. Good morning to you. Jenny writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. I was in the midst of listening to a Jimi Hendrix interview. Really? Old school. Okay. Anthony writes, did you see Cranley's supposed plan for Ohio as governor? Yes, I have. And as I said, despite my critiques of him as a mayor, there are things in his plan that I like. I can admit that to you. But yo, check it. Let's think this all the way through. You got a super majority in the state of Ohio, Republican majority. A Democrat mayor, a Democrat governor, how much are they really going to get done? Now, I would still take that over a sucking MC governor any day of the week. But I'm just saying, John Cranley told us a whole bunch of stuff that he was going to do as mayor, and he never did it. He never did it. It didn't get done. This mofo was running around here acting like a Republican. I know Democrats that look at him and say, is he really a Democrat? So now he wants to put his Democrat clothes on again, and he wants to run against the incumbent Republican, and I'm calling BS on it. Because he didn't deliver them 5,000 kids out of poverty. He don't even talk about it no more. He stopped talking about it. It was nothing more than something to talk about when he was running against Yvette Simpson, because she actually came from that world. So he needed something, some kind of leverage, some kind of talking point to use. He used it and it worked because, Cincinnati voters can get caught up with dumb shit sometimes. Cincinnati primary voters can get caught up with dumb shit sometimes. It worked. Or voters in general. And that was it. He dropped that shit as soon as he got back reelected. They got a website up right now. They got a whole bunch of organizations that's supposed to be working on it, and they ain't doing a damn thing. They ain't doing a damn thing. So I saw what he's proposing, Anthony, but to me, a good predictor of the future is the past, what somebody has already done. So why should I believe anything that John Cranley says? And when I interview him, I'm going to say that to him. Why should I believe you? What have you done? I guarantee you, if you ask him, he's going to say some damn FC Cincinnati. Well, I was instrumental in making sure we got that FC Cincinnati stadium, and that has revitalized the West End. I already know what the man's going to say, and I ain't buying it. Not one bit. Fame writes, the talk show host referring to other men's penises. Not sure I'm going to listen. I've had enough references to mine on this show. This brother, man. Charles writes, this man, Grand Risings, Nathan Choppers, same to you, brother. Good morning to you. Derek's in the house. He writes, good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Choppers. Good to see you, brother. As always. He writes, make today a great day. Absolutely. D is in the house. She writes, greetings. Good to see you. Daryl writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Linda Jones writes, good morning. Sister Iris writes, good morning, great people. Good to see everybody. Woody writes, Grand Risings, brother Nathan and the Choppers. Wear your mask. Rona is still here. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere because humans are worse than COVID. Humans are worse than COVID. COVID is just wants to replicate. It wants to survive. Humans got all these contradicting and competing agendas, and we can't get out our own way. All over the country, they're returning to mask mandates. There's a business in Ohio, I read this morning. There's a business in Cincinnati area, that it's a bar. You can't enter. When you enter the bar, there's a sign that says that you got to be vaccinated. That's the world we live in. And I love it. I would prefer a place like that. I tell you, man, going back over there, during COVID, I would go to the grocery store. I would go over to Whole Foods. Shit is expensive, man. I'm in Whole Foods like 3 times this happened. They got people in there walking around with no mask on. I seen a young hippie white couple when I was young. They looked like they was in their 20s. I say hippie because of the way they was dressed. Walking around with no mask on, eating grapes. Yeah, nasty ass. You ain't gonna wash that off? You try to put your hand into a bag of grapes. Guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna touch other grapes. Yeah, nasty ass. You, they should have dragged their ass out and beat them with flat basketballs. That's what they should have did. But I was so happy when I saw the staff over there. I'm talking over in Rookwood. The staff confronted them, checked their ass, and made them leave. I was like, I love it. Bravo. It's good to see some people got some backbone in this city. I love to see it. Enforce the rules because human beings, some of us, are incorrigible. We just don't care. And until we're forced to do certain things, we're never going to do it. Sometimes you got to force human beings to do certain things. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. All right. Today's show is brought to you by my friends over at renewcommunitychurch.org. They got a brand new series that they've created that is designed to inspire you to enhance your life. Let's get a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
The words for today are better mental health. It takes 60 seconds for the universe through the invisible law of attraction to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you today because you are just 60 seconds away from better mental health. Take the next 60 seconds and improve your mental health by telling a mental health story for 60 seconds 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it will take to change your life. Now say this mental health story out loud 3 times a day. It is my divine and human right to embrace inner peace, calmness, and happiness today. I confess that my mind is calm and alert and sharp and focused. I focus on what I really, really want today. Today, I allow love, joy, peace in my life. For a free ebook and coaching, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
I did it again. You know I got to do it at least once per show now. You know I got to do it at least once per show. Thank you, Kamara. I got to do it at least one per show just to keep you on your toes, okay? I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. But my question again is for John Cranley. What has John Cranley done that would deserve our vote for governor? It's not enough that he's a Democrat. I'm sorry, it ain't enough. That ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? That might shock people like, wait, a black man is saying it's not enough that he's a Democrat? I know Drop is somewhere just on the floor, like, if he's even up, because it's really early on the West Coast this morning. It's like 3 hours behind us. So what is it? 5:17 a.m., man. Psh, I appreciate the brother. I'm getting all kind of messages. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, Nicole. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. That's it. Oh, this is dope. Duke Reagan Day. Tuesday, August 10th, 5 p.m. in Fountain Square. That's the young brother that won a silver medal in Tokyo. Yeah, Duke Reagan. Does anybody have a connect with him? I'd love to get him on the show and interview him and lift him up. If you got to connect with brother Duke Reagan, please let me know. I'll have him on the show. We can come on the show tomorrow. I'll make time for it because that's a big accomplishment. Very big. I mean, that means you're one of the best athletes on the planet, which shows a lot of discipline, which is what most people don't have these days. Discipline is a lost art for a lot of people. Let me see. Anthony writes, great bike trails, Nate. Don't shortchange John, bro. Is that right? Yeah, can't forget the bike trails. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was just throwing it out there, but I appreciate it. Queen Maxine, right, the bike trails. Queen Maxine writes, grand risings, everyone. Good vibes. I need something underneath me, man. Yeah, we do that. We'll keep it simple. Brent writes, ask the group of pastors about John Cranley, the First Wives Club. Yeah, God damn. We so simple. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Jerome writes, nothing for housing. What has John Cranley accomplished in the last 8 years is the open question. That's a local question for my local folks in Cincinnati. I've got more for you, so don't go anywhere. I like to know. Pat writes, good morning. Brandy writes, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Good morning to you. Nikki writes, good morning, everyone. Derek writes, Mr. Cranley also said he would increase the black middle class. He did say that, Derek. Let's look at the numbers and see if he's actually done that, because he don't talk about it. He don't talk about it. Ronald writes, have y'all seen the story of Debbie Bosworth and Carla Hopkins up in Cleveland? No. What are we missing? Anthony writes, thing was sorta, they have done it all these years. Now they say they can't. What the hell changed this year? Well, coming out of COVID, and they're saying that there's a shortage in drivers, which I can agree. I can imagine that's true. I can imagine there is a shortage of drivers. That rings like it might be true to me, but I don't give a damn about it. So what? Make it happen anyway, right? Pay them folks more money if you got to. Danita writes, good morning, all. Good morning to you. Charles writes, you won't find them because they don't exist. We all saw how Cranley moves. He couldn't care less about the people and more about the corporations. Cranley did everything short of breaking his neck to help FC Cincinnati come here, which they have been shitball, by the way. They have been shitball. But at least you can watch it in a great multi-million-dollar stadium. I mean, you got to look at things on the bright. There's a silver lining. I mean, come on now. We could have been watching them at Nippert, but at least we get a chance to watch them in a multi-million-dollar brand new stadium in the West End. Come on, man. So you're just a Debbie Downer, Charles. All this negativity. The glass is half full, not half empty. Woody writes, I would vote for a box of rocks before I vote for Little Cranley. So now we call him Little Cranley. How has Cranley treated black people? I remember the way Cranley treated Blackwell. Remember that? I remember the way Cranley treated Harry Black. How has John Cranley treated black people? I'm just asking. I mean, as a black man, I can ask that question. I can be selfish like that. I'll tell you this much. You said shitballs. John Cranley treated Blackwell like he was nothing. Ran this man all around the city doing all these different things. And then they trotted him out in front of city council that day. Remember that? Oh, it was a bad day in Cincinnati. It was a bad day. It was a bad look. And now he wants my vote for governor. Well, I'm not going to be that easy, John Cranley. I'm not going to be as easy as some of these other folks out here. I'm not that easy. I'm sorry. Charles writes, Cranley probably isn't coming on then. He doesn't want this smoke from you in the choppers. No, he'll come on. Cranley, no. Man, listen, I'm talking big shit, but these people are well-heeled politicians. They've been through the fire many times. He ain't worried about coming on the show, and I'm counting on it. I'm counting on it. Kamar writes, Republican majority legislator. Exactly. Super majority. These mofos got a super majority, and the quality of life for the middle class in Ohio ain't changed a bit. It hasn't changed one bit. Not one bit, because they're too caught up with a national Republican agenda, in my opinion. Cranley, CPS, and Sorter are all full of ish. Brent writes, he's been reactive and has done superficial-ish. Sanctuary City, right? Brent writes, no black agenda. Yeah, what is John Cranley? I mean, is it wrong to ask what an agenda is specifically for your black residents? I don't think so. Kamar writes, those Republicans in the state house are a rather unique crowd. Well, that's white fragility that's in power. That's what that is. I'm aggressive with it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it real this morning. Brandy writes, good morning. Kamar writes, remember the time when a state rep wanted to declare porn as a public health crisis? I've forgotten about that. Anthony writes, I still fought the CPS board. You don't wait to the last minute to make sure all ducks in a row when you're dealing with 35,000 kids. They should have been on the top of this from the giddy up. Again, my big takeaway from this disaster with Metro and Sorta and CPS is once again disrespecting CPS parents. Is there a more disrespected demographic in Cincinnati other than CPS parents? No. CPS parents have been disrespected for decades, and continue to be disrespected. And I ran through the list with you earlier based upon my own observations and personal experiences. Like I said, unless you connect it to the top and you can get the superintendent or the assistant superintendent on the phone and from a relationship with them, you can't get shit done in CPS if you have a problem with your teacher or, God forbid, with the administrator. You ain't got no hope at all. There is no SOS. There's no life preserver, no life raft. There's no flares. Your ass just got to deal with it. And they can do whatever they want to do to you, i.e. Gabriel Tai. Tell me I'm wrong. Parents run around huddling up in fear, talking in hushed tones. We don't want no get back on ours. I don't care about none of that. I want you to. I dare you. But I've seen it. We don't want to look them in the eyes and all. I'm like, man, I don't care about these motherfuckers. You better do your job. CPS parents are one of the most disrespected demographics in Cincinnati, and the situation with Sorta and CPS is just the latest example of it. Please share that thought. This ain't the first time. This is just the latest in a series of ongoing disrespectful things. That's it. CPS spent $500,000 in court arguing that they're not responsible for our children. That if your kid is found unconscious or gets bullied to the point that they lose consciousness, that they don't have a responsibility to call you. Melanie Bay, school board member, long time, talking slick and greasy at a bar in St. Bernard, talking about how she don't care about the kids and the parents and the grandparents during COVID. Another school board member at the height of COVID didn't want to eat in the same room with his school board colleagues, but then votes to send your kid back to school to eat in the classroom with their colleagues. One of the most disrespected demographics in Cincinnati are CPS parents. And as I told you, this situation, yabba dabba doing, we don't know what's on third, who's on first. We don't know what he's going to do. It's just another example of the disrespect. That's all it is. I'm not saying that everybody don't care, but I'm saying in general, there is a theme when you deal with CPS. Now, some of y'all might get lucky. You might be at a school where you got administrators that are actually compassionate. They actually care. But if you don't, you have no recourse whatsoever. whatsoever. And they know it. They know it. That's why they act like that. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. You might get moved from one school to another school, like they did with the predatory Catholic Church priests. They might do some shit like that, like they did with the folks involved with the case of Gabriel Taye. Isn't that what happened? They didn't get fired, did they? Got moved around. I'll say it again. CPS parents are one of the most disrespected demographics in this city, and that's part of the reason why it's still a failing district, because the motherfuckers don't listen. They don't want to hear from you. Like a man like me, they don't want to hear nothing I got to say. Trust me. They don't want to hear me at all. And that's the problem. You can't help the kids if you're not working with the kids' parents. Period. It's impossible. It's impossible. So that's my big takeaway. I'm just calling out the dumb shit. That's my big takeaway from this sort of CPS fiasco. It's sort of par for the course, quite honestly. I love these play on words. Anybody want to challenge that? You can do so at 513-873-7134. I would love to hear something different, but I don't think we will. I don't think we will. 3 weeks before the damn school about to open up, now y'all want to introduce some shit. That's the way you treat somebody you don't care about. Tell me I'm wrong. This is basic human interaction and relationships and communication. All this last minute change shit, that's somebody that don't really care about you. It's harsh. But it ain't as harsh as the reality these kids gonna face. Standing at bus stops, getting on these schools during the height of COVID, the Delta variant out here running amok. Like Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl, just running through shit. Please share this with somebody. Tag somebody on Facebook that needs to hear this. My work is never done. Let me see. Jane's in the house. Good morning to you, Jane. She writes, good morning, everyone. Good to see you, as always. Clarence writes, John Cranley is proposing to give every Ohio family $500. Bet you can't buy your way into the damn governor's office. Nobody knows you sorry the real you worst mayor in Cincinnati. Then Republicans going to eat your ass alive with that fake ass, with that fake ass poverty warrior issue pulling. He wants to try to buy our votes. Okay. Keep your $500. Regina writes, Nate for school board, let's get it. It's too late for that this go around. But who knows? Maybe next go around. Let's see how the school board, you're gonna get some new faces. Let's see how this all shakes out. I got my eyes on some other things. JD writes, don't underestimate free money. That's how DeSantis stays in power in Florida. True that, JD. She's in Florida, so she would know. True that. Let me see. Clarence writes, FC is cursed. They will never win the game as long as they in the West End. I curse they ass. Damn, what? Now what? Go ahead and lift that curse, man. I mean, damn, they paid for it. It's there now. The gentrification process is in full effect. Okay? So can we at least get a winning team? Can we at least get a winning team down there? Deborah writes, RIP and condolences to the family of Manette Cooper. Yeah, I did see that, man. I always liked Manette Cooper. I did. I'll tell you a quick story about Manette Cooper that no one ever knows about. But out of college, so my degree is in political science, but out of college, I wanted to work in politics. So I interviewed for a job in her office. And I don't know why I didn't get it. It probably got somebody who was better suited for it at the time. But I always liked Manette. She was easy on the eyes too. She was easy on the eyes. What you mean no? What you mean don't say that? That was my daughter. I was like, no. I said what I want to say. I'm grown. I'm real grown. I'm like grown. The congrats don't say that. Since you're talking ish on the side, you want to come say hello to the people? Yeah, you do. So don't come in the camera. You look terrible.
I look better than you.
There she is.
Did you just?
We don't want to see that. There's Manette Cooper. No, say good morning. Say good morning. Look at her.
Hey.
Look at her. Yeah, hit them teethers. Whew. Hit them teethers. Thank you. Don't come. Thank you. She said, she calls me big man. She's like, you're lucky, big man. I ain't gonna come for you in front of your whole show. I appreciate it. But this is Manette Cooper. She ain't easy on that. She ain't bad on the eyes. Yeah, we need something like that down there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, but so yeah, she was on Manette Cooper was on city council for many years. And I read that she passed away. So condolences to her family. That's a very sad story right there. But such as the circle of life, she was the vice mayor, passed away at 73. Damn, I hope I get to 73. She was first elected to council in 1995 and served until 2003. So that's about an 8-year time frame. She also served on the board of health. And that's very sad news, but she just made the transition before the rest of us. Actually, every last one of us gonna make that transition. She just went a little further. She went before us. That's it. She just went before us. That's it. Nothing more than that. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. So prayers up for Manette Cooper. Yeah, I mean, she was a good lady. I can't remember all the interactions I had with her. They were from afar, but I do remember interviewing with her and her chief of staff for the position. I didn't get the job. I wasn't upset about it. Jobs come, jobs go. And I thought there was a little bit more to it than that. I just can't remember. It's been a long time since I even thought about Manette Cooper, but when I read about it this morning, I got on Facebook and saw it. I was like, damn, that's sad to hear. Very sad to hear. So I hope it was a peaceful transition. That's all I can hope for. Angela is in the house. She writes salutations. Good to see you, Angela, as always. Roxy Box 74 writes, with them bullshit ass 30-minute lunches, what the hell you supposed to eat in 30 minutes other than some unhealthy ish? A lot of these jobs are bad for your health. Absolutely. Well, I don't know. I would challenge that a little bit, Roxy Bot 74. I think the healthiest lunch that you can get if you're working is a lunch that you pre-prepare and bring with you, and you can scarf that down to 30 minutes. You can definitely scarf that down in 30 minutes. If you're trying to go out and buy something, it's always going to be unhealthier or less healthy than if you make it at home. But I think I understand your point. The minister's in the house. Dominique writes, what's up, Nate? What's up with you, sir? Good to see you. Tabitha writes, if Sorta and CPS had money issues, they should have got the $5 million from Mike DeWine and the COVID crew. The COVID crew. Danita's in here setting the record straight. To Anthony, she writes, then you are right back at the problem. You want CPS to buy buses with money that they don't have, but depend on outside sources for maintenance and running the actual transportation, ? Tabitha writes, Cincinnati is just like my closet, unorganized. Damn, that's not a good comparison. Tabitha writes, we will find something else to do with FC Cincinnati, like throwing big parties because they team ain't winning ish. Well, they just got started. They're the baby of the league. Let's give them 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years to see how they develop. And they'll get their shot at the championship like everybody else. Until then, enjoy your multi-million-dollar stadium, enjoy your gentrification, and enjoy the spectacle. Me personally, I don't know. I thought this might have been creative, man, but as a city, can't you tie some of the money to the winning of the team? Like, why should we support a team with tax dollars on any level? Because right now they're getting some of that hotel money. People come in from out of town, they get taxed. That money's going to FC Cincinnati. They're not supporting with tax dollars. Shut your ass up. Yes, they are. Stop fucking lying. All right. And I just want to know, like, how long are we going to be? They can't see you. You mean scoot over a little bit and they can see you more. He's got his lightsaber. It's wacky tacky day.
Yeah, for me.
Go ahead and turn it on for the people, man, and show them, give them the whole show. Oh, man, it turns on and everything. Could you not smack that computer, please? Are you enjoying this? I could tell. It's wacky tacky day, huh?
Yeah, look at my shirt on my pants.
Oh, get your shirt inside out. You gonna keep this on all day, man? It's gonna be like 90 degrees today. It's gonna be 90 degrees today. Take that off.
No, it's wacky tacky day
Oh, okay.
for me.
Give me a kiss. You brush your teeth? Good. Good. You can't sit on my lap. Can't sit on my lap. You cannot sit on my lap.
Yes.
You cannot sit on my lap.
Why can I not sit on your lap?
Am I keeping this or are you taking this with you?
You keep it.
Okay. Thank you, man.
You're a Jedi.
I am a Jedi.
You're a Jedi Knight.
I am. You're right.
Pretend like you're fighting.
Here you go, bud.
No, you.
No. I gotta get back to my show. No, take it with you. Tabitha writes, vote, and vote. Yeah, I got them all right. 6 votes. Roy writes, he bought the votes when he gave the city workers the raise that was outside the contract just before the election. So it's a usual tactic for him. Kathy writes, good morning, all. Roy writes, good morning, everyone. Janice writes, to bring children out of poverty, first you have to bring their parents out of poverty, i.e., education, jobs, etc. Correctamundo. That's not it. Correctamundo. We leveling up, Janice. You absolutely correct on that. You cannot lift kids out of poverty if you're not lifting their parents out of poverty. And see, that's the problem with Cincinnati. Cincinnati has a lot of sympathy for children. We got a lot of sympathy for little kids. Oh my God, the babies. Oh, we're going to do the backpacks for school. We're going to get the food boxes for you. We're going to do all kind of marathons and food drives and you name it. But when it comes to their grown parents, we ain't got nothing but contempt looking down their noses. Matter of fact, they ain't got to be parents. Once they become teenagers, especially black teenagers, oh boy, now we got a problem. Little bitty kids, oh, we love you. Give me a kiss and a hug. Oh, we can't do enough for you. Become a teenager? Oh my God. Will you go somewhere? Parent? Oh, we definitely ain't got no time. We definitely don't have no time for no adult parents. No adult black parents? Oh, we ain't got no adults? Nah. Same thing with CPS. CPS is not going to become a successful district if they're not dealing with and listening to and working with the parents. It's impossible. It's just never going to happen. But we can keep on trying, I guess. Linda writes, silver medal Duke Reagan on Fountain Square tonight, 5 to 7 p.m. Yes, somebody sent me a flyer. And you give me a second, I'll put up on the screen. Washburn West End writes, good morning, all. Good to see you, Washburn West End. Good to see you. Scott writes, 2 bars gave it where you have to show proof of vaccination to enter, and more will come. At this point, businesses are trying to stay open. They can't afford another shutdown or to lose what little staff they have. Absolutely correct, Armando. You're right about that. But that's because you got a lot of incorrigible people running around talking about COVID is not a real thing. That's what the issue is. It's these damn humans. Humans, say it with me, humans worse than COVID. Way worse than COVID. Way worse than COVID. Way worse than COVID. Let me switch gears here and add a few more things to the conversation, so to speak. 513-873-7134. Now, you can go ahead and lock me into your phone. That way, just put on the Nathan Ivey Show or Nathan Show. Nathan Ivey, whatever you want to put. Nathan, whatever you want to put. That way, if you ever want to give us a call, boom, you just press one button. You ain't got to fumble around like, what's the number? You already got the number. You already got the number. Mime time, $5 in the jar. Right. I'm just keeping y'all on your toes. Keeping you on your toes. That's it. Need that sound, big fella. Thank you, Ernest. Tabitha writes, damn, this Negro, no sound. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just keep it on your toes. Just keep it on your toes. That's it. Just want to see, make sure you're out there. Tabitha writes, all I see downtown is gentrification. And it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. Toy writes, he's not done anything to impress me, speaking of John Cranley. Now, those folks who was drinking it up in the Dora were taking that in, but interesting enough, they aren't his voters. That's right. The Dora is, I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's a space downtown where you can drink outside and they don't enforce the open flask rules, which I don't have a problem with. If grown folks want to drink outside, drink outside. We grown. We pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Do what you're going to do. Iris writes, can we create a career pathway from CPS to Metro? How hard is this to figure out? Good idea. I like the idea. Iris writes, what about Karen Bankston? I'm sorry. I like Karen Bankston. I'm not super close to her, but from what I know about her, I like. Let me see. Anthony writes, what about Wimburn and Boxgate? Right. Maurice writes, my people need to stop acting like we're not under attack because we are. Michelle Dillingham's in the house. She writes, Cranley ad truly hilarious. We need a fact checker on that mess. Hey, good to see you, Michelle. Tabitha writes, can we have anything? Trey writes, sorta is full of ish. They're selling out the drivers too. The route cuts are affecting drivers' work and the new contract. Is that right? Kamara writes, black folks have been disrespected for decades. Cincinnati is a racist city that continues to oppress black people in their voices. Absolutely. Hence why my mission is to amplify black voices. That's my way of challenging the local status quo. I'll say it again. She's absolutely right about that. The majority of CPS is black. The vast majority of CPS students are black. That means that the vast majority of CPS parents are black. I'll say it again. CPS parents are one of the most disrespected demographics in this city, have been for decades and remain that way. And I don't think anybody can argue against that. The facts are undisputable. You cannot dispute this. You cannot resist this. And this latest situation with Sorta is yet another example of it. It's just another example of it. Waiting to the last damn minute to make such a big change, and you got our babies out here on the streets. The concept is disrespectful. If you was working on a job, a part of a team, and they came to you at the last minute and told you they was making some big changes, you would feel disrespected. Simple as that. TNT writes, Cranley accomplished holding up the demands of the dark element within CPD and ensuring no accountability by firing the city manager. Kamar writes, I'm not from Cincinnati, and within the first week of me moving here, I felt the weight of racism. Speaking of it, my daughter, I won't tell you that story. I got a story to tell you about my daughter and something that was said to her recently, but I'll share it. I'll wait on it. I don't want to muddy the waters too much because it's so crazy that it deserves its own little segment on the show. So I'll wait, maybe later on the show. TNT writes, in your custody, in your care, right? Sister Iris writes, not slick and greasy, yeah. Brittany, good to see you, Brittany. She writes, yes, so sad. I drive a school bus from Middletown, and they pay us crap compared to other drivers. We lost 4 and down bad. Yeah, that's the reason why people don't want to work, because the concept of a dream job has radically changed. Nobody wants to work for somebody else for the rest of their damn life. Let me move on here. I want to talk about the dumb shit surrounding Nick Cannon, just for a little bit. If you don't know, Nick Cannon has 7 children with 4 different women. I'll say it again. Nick Cannon has 7 children with 4 different women. And he challenged his critics by saying that, you know, having all his kids with one woman is a Eurocentric concept. I'd like to know how you feel about that. Does that ring true to you, or is that dumb shit? Does that ring true to you, or is that dumb-ish? Like in the black community, there's a big thing about criticizing black men that's having a whole lot of babies with a whole lot of women because you can't possibly take care of them. Nick Cannon financially is in a different position than the average black dude. He appears to be a multimillionaire. So, you know, he got enough money to take care of 7 kids. He went on the Breakfast Club and said, "Look, I love kids." He said, "Look, you know, I'm not ascribing to this Eurocentric concept of fatherhood." He says that having all your kids with one woman is a Eurocentric concept. Is that true? So I'm living my life differently. In America, if you got enough money, you can live your life any way you want to. That's the reason why people want money, because they can do what they want to do. I said 4, but 5 different mothers. He's welcomed 4 children in the past year, and now has 7 children overall with 5 different mothers. I think I said that wrong earlier. 5 different mothers, 7 children. My question is, what kind of woman would be the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th woman? Or do we live in a world where it's all about money? And so whoever was the 5th mother, right? He had 4 baby mothers before him. She got with Nick Cannon, slept with Nick Cannon, presumably unprotected, was willing to get pregnant because she know he got money. And she know that having a baby with a guy like Nick Cannon, you hit the lottery. You got thousands of dollars coming in. Plus, you get to be close to his star. That's the world we live in these days. I mean, that might be harsh or whatever, but that's the world we live in. Is that dumb-ish in your opinion? Is Nick Cannon on 1,000 miles of dumb-ish? Or is there some truth in that, in your opinion? Do you agree with it? Sister Iris writes, it's black people, period. They disrespected CPS, CPD, CVS, Kroger. It doesn't matter, right? Right. Oh, man. Danita writes, Melanie Bates used the exact words you did, Nate. She is sick of these whiny-ass parents. You said it about people wanting the schools to open, and she said about people wanting schools to stay remote. Pot meets kettle. How many times I got to correct you on this, Danita? You waited a little bit and tried it again, but no, sis, not the same. It's not the same. No. Mm-mm. You know, what I said was out of care and love. What she said was out of frustration and spite. Two complete. You keep trying this though, Danita, but it ain't gonna work. No, sis. Brittany writes, yes, unfortunately, it's always been like this. It's blood in that river from the slaves crossing over. Lots of deeply rooted racism. Trey writes, all CPS staff should have to be vaccinated. Is it raining outside? Damn, I can hear it. Sorry, I'm about to walk out the door. I can hear the rain outside. Really? Damn. They're working with children under 12 who have no protection. This is just crazy. I got to get my workout in. That's what I'm worried about. Michelle writes, I hear no lies. No lies. Oh, man. Sister Iris writes, the dark elements are everywhere. It doesn't matter where in government. Blacks are cheated out of more land and houses than police, and the cost is even greater. I agree with you, but Harry did a lot against us as well, even when we tried to help. Facts on facts, as I understand them. Get out my neighborhood and I'll lift the curse. Damn. Loved her. Rest well, Manette Cooper. Absolutely. Most deaf. Clarence writes, respect and honor to Manette Cooper. Nikki writes, hi, sweetie. I guess my son was in here at that point. Washburn West End writes, okay, bye, daughter. She's talking about some bye, big man. She didn't even call me dad. She called me big man. These kids, these teenagers, CPS is at fault in my opinion. all parents can do at this point is make sure they provide a way for the children to get to school and back home, or teach them how to take the bus route to school and back home. Yes, you're right. You're right in the short term. But in the long term, there's no reason, or should I say, I would like to hear the reasons why sorta can't reconfigure their plans, and by January of 2022, with half of the school year left, they go back to providing the extra bus routes. They have a full 5 months to work on the plan. They can implement it slowly, but hopefully by January of 2022, they can have it back in place, and parents can feel as if, they can rest a little easier knowing that for at least half of the school year, the upcoming school year, that the extra bus routes will be provided. I'd like to know why that can't be put in place. I completely can understand why sorta is saying it can't be done by the beginning of the school year, but let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's not do that. Okay, sorta, you can't do it by August 19th. I got you. But you tell them you can't do that by January 7th, 2022? That's a problem. And somebody is lying. So we got a chance to talk with Chelsea Clark. We talked with her last week. She said, as a board member, we were not informed. Okay. I believe her. She seemed to be very credible. There's no reason why Chelsea would come on this show and lie. I believe her. A day or two ago, I'm reading a comment from another board member saying that they were fully informed. Somebody is lying. Somebody's lying. I'd like to know whom. That's what I want to know. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Yo, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing great.
Hold on. Let me take you off of this speaker, please.
Who am I speaking to?
Good morning, Nate. Hey,
Good morning.
I'm
What's
a
your name,
Metro
brother?
bus driver.
Hey, brother,
you
what's
hear
your name?
Dante.
Dante. Good morning, Dante.
Morning. Hey, man. Yeah, man. We like the drivers and all that, man. We have absolutely nothing to do with this, man. We're like as shocked as everyone else. We're as outraged as everyone else. Man, it wouldn't take them to January to implement the school routes back in. Man, they could do that in a couple days, man. That stuff is already mapped out, right? The only problem they would have to do, the only thing they would have to do is change some of the start times, whatever, because from our understanding, some of the school start times have changed. But you make a couple variations to the start time. I mean, it's a little bit of tweaking, but it only takes a week or so. It wouldn't take nowhere near till January. I mean, because we pick our routes in 3-month increments. I mean, at the most, we could wait until the next, because we start our new route Sunday. So they can take, at the most, the next 3 months after this route pick is over. The next route pick, we can start school route. We can start school routes by August 19th. But, somebody with a college degree feels that they know the city, they know the kids, they know what's best for the parents, they know what's best for the kids. Probably never lived here, probably never went to school here, probably never did anything here. So, but because they have a college degree, they know what's best for, our kids in our city. Like we're going through it now with our union contract, man. Like we're going through it, man. A lot of it has to do with these school routes and them trying to cut routes to save money, and they don't want to increase the starting wage. And I mean, it's a whole blunt. We're not compatible with the starting wage. Like people are coming in saying, like, at the amount of money that they're making, they could work for a Walmart or go pack some candy or go work so and so. Now our ending wage is now that's a whole nother subject. But who wants to go 4 years to reach top tier pay? People need their money now in the position that we're in. And we're not competitive. We can't keep anybody. So they're saying that's the reason why they cut school routes and everything else, which doesn't make sense because these kids are going to be in trouble, man. and I've been doing this a long time, man. These kids are gonna be in trouble.
When
I
you
mean,
say
you understand, man.
when you say the
Huh?
kid's gonna be in trouble, Dante, what do you mean? What do you see?
I mean, man. It said 6,000 students. There's no way we can move 6,000 students on a regular routes, plus the regular people. You realize we did Walnut Hills routes. I think Walnut Hills had 35 school routes alone. Can you imagine all those kids standing on Montgomery Road trying to get downtown or trying to get home? Can you imagine? They said Walnut Hills has I think 3,500. Can you imagine those students standing on Montgomery Road or standing on Woodburn trying to catch the 31 or catch the 4 to get home? They're just going to be ridiculous. Can you imagine how many kids are going to be at Government Square coming from Woodward and Aiken and West High and Walnut Hills and everywhere else, man, trying to get home? It's going to be ridiculous, man. There's no way we can do it this way. It's not going to last long. I don't think it should last. It should have happened at all, but I don't think it's going to last long. There's no way, man. Like I said, especially with us going through contract negotiations now, man, the drivers got a sour taste in their mouth. You know, management has a sour taste in their mouth. The union has a sour taste in their mouth. It's a mess, man. It's a mess, man. Metro is a mess. But like I said, if I had a kid, if I had a kid in CPS, if I could homeschool or virtual school or something until they figure this mess out, I would, man. I wouldn't send my kid out here, man. Especially, you know, coming into 16, 19-degree days, 19-degree mornings. It's freezing out here. I don't want my kids standing out here, man. You never know when a bus is gonna come. Just remember, I told you so, bro. If I had a choice, I wouldn't send my kid out here. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't, man. I wouldn't. But that's all I got, man. Y'all have a good day and peace be upon you. I hope it works out.
All right,
Later.
Dante, thank you for the flows, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dante is a Metro driver, and he gave us some insight there. I appreciate it. He said it shouldn't take 5 months. He said they already got the plans in place. So again, if I was a school board member, I would be highly critical with sorta. And what I need to know is make this make sense for me. Walk me through this, baby step me through this so I can understand why it would take so long for you to go back. And is it possible for you to still provide those extra routes? But like I said, you know, CPS parents are one of the most disrespected demographics. But black people in general are the most disrespected in Cincinnati. And what, 70% of the demographics are black children. I love to see the numbers between bus riders and people who are driven to school every day to see if there's a racial distinction between the two. If I had to spitball it, I'd probably say there is. This is disrespectful all the way around. It's disrespectful to the students. It's disrespectful to the parents. Disrespectful all the way around. But that's par for the course in Cincinnati. It is. 513-873-7134. If you like to share your thoughts this morning, I'd love to hear them. TNT writes, he's got some of that Mariah Carey money. He did get a divorce settlement, didn't he? Yeah, he was with Mariah. They had about a few kids. I think he's got like three kids with Mariah, 2 kids with Mariah, something like that. Me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers. Old dirty bastard, no liar. It's cool to love kids, but kids become adults, right? We love the children. We love black kids. Like little black kids is so cute. I always want to pinch their little faces and give them food baskets. They become teenagers and want to go to the park and hang out. All of a sudden, it's a menace to society. You a menace. And don't become an adult and then start criticizing the local structure. Oh my God. Now you's a problem. Now you's a real problem. Don't have a F COVID party. Oh boy, now we got to give you a felony. But little black kids, oh, we love little black kids in Cincinnati. It's the cutest little things because they don't say shit. They don't say anything that challenges the local status quo. You become a teenager, oh, they want to spray you in the face with mace to get you off short vine. Every time there's a shooting, it becomes an indictment on all black teenagers. What's wrong with our teenagers? Nothing's wrong with them. And when they become an adult, when you stand up to the power structure and say, you know what, this ain't right. Oh boy, you become public enemy number one. Oh, we got a problem here. Oh boy, got to hear this again. Disparities, right? I keep laughing so I don't cry. Greg writes, good morning, Native Choppers. Good morning to you. Maurice writes, our ancestors had multiple wives. I wanted all my children by one woman, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way. TNT writes, the fact is he can be a present father with all 7 kids, and money does not replace his time. Yeah, so, I want to get to the bottom. So Nick Cannon, and I like Nick Cannon. I still like Nick Cannon, even though we're not supposed to like Nick Cannon anymore because of something he said about, I think, Jewish people or something like that, which I think he needs to do his homework, but I get the point he was trying to make. And that's what people do on YouTube. People start YouTube channels and say the dumbest shit you've ever seen in life. That's what they do. That's their channel. So if you don't like it, don't subscribe. Some of the dumbest goobly gop you've ever heard in your life is on YouTube right now. But that's the way they set it up. You can build an audience off your dumb ish, then go right ahead. I got no problem with it. Look at Nick. He is so cool. Nick Cannon says, I'm not playing into this Eurocentric model of fatherhood. I ain't doing it. Don't try to tell me how many kids to have and what I'm supposed to do. I ain't having it. Matter of fact, I got a clip here of him on The Breakfast Club talking about it. And I hope I don't get copyright strike for this because I got copyright strike yesterday. That's what happened with the show, I believe. But if it happens, it happens. God damn it. The show goes on. Okay. The show goes on. This is Nick Cannon on The Breakfast Club talking about his views on fatherhood. It's about 2-3 minutes. It's not that long. I want to get your thoughts on the other side. Check this out. Is this real shit or dumb shit?
You got so many too.
I got 5 and 1 on the way, so I'm gonna have 6, but I'm stopping it.
Really?
I'm gonna stop.
Are you sure? Is it the beauty of fatherhood, man? When you really talk about like the essence of living in as a father too, man. I've learned so much just from my children, man. Like, and it's so amazing. And I really just love being around my kids and just that youthful energy. It feels like you get to relive every time. And
all the time. I love that.
And I think because, I've been through so much in my life, physically, mentally, and spiritually, like the best place that I find is the time that I spend with my kids and the energy, and to get as much of that as possible.
I got you again. I got you again, Kamara. Yeah, it was keeping you on your toes. But again, some of the best times I've ever had in my life is with my children. Hanging out with my kids. Quiet time. My son's getting older now. And so he's figuring out the things he's into. And some of the things he's into are things I'm into. Best time of my life. My daughter has a very, very similar taste for pop culture that I do. We share a taste in similar movies. We both love sci-fi and horror movies. My wifey, not so much. So now she's my sci-fi horror movie buddy. We watch those movies together. Best time of my life. Best time of my life. So I get what Nick Cannon's saying right here, 100%. I get it. He said that youthful energy. I love that youthful energy too. But let's go back to it.
To pass on, all that I've lived into something else. That's why I do it, man.
It's not the number of kids, though. I guess people question the different baby mothers. That's what.
But why do people question that? I mean, because that's a Eurocentric concept when you think about the ideas of like you're supposed to have this one person for the rest of your life. And really, that's just a classified property when you think about it. I mean, like, when you go into that mindset, if we really talking that talk, like, just the idea that a man should have one woman, we shouldn't have anything. I have no ownership over this person. Like, if we really talking about how we coexist and how we populate, it's about what exchange can we create together. So I've never really subscribed to that mentality. You know what I mean? I understand the institution of marriage and stuff, but if we go back to what that was about, that was the classified property. That was because a father gave another man his daughter for land. So when you really get to that concept, it's like, all right, well, we got to change all of this up, because I don't want ownership over anybody. I don't have ownership of any of the mothers, or like, we create families in that sense of we created a beautiful entity. So I get into it because I don't, those are the concepts that a lot of people, because we're so
Yeah, I get what Nick is saying right here. I get what he's saying, but I'll be honest with you. I've heard people who argue in favor of open marriages and polyamory, and they'll use those kind of language like, I don't own you. To me, marriage is not about ownership. That's not what it's about. Like, my wife and I have been married 20 plus years. I don't own her. She don't own me. But we have a certain responsibility to one another. It's not, marriage has never been, to me, I don't look at a marriage as ownership. She can do whatever the hell she want to do at the end of the day. She grown, and so can I. She can't stop me from doing anything I want to do. I can't stop her from doing anything she wants to do. That's not the point of it. To me, when I hear people argue that, it's the weakest argument. Like, I could craft a better argument than saying, well, I don't own you. It ain't about ownership. It's not, I don't see it that way. Like, I agree overall with what he's saying to some degree, only in the sense that I think that as an adult, you should be able to live your life the way you want to, as long as you ain't hurt nobody. Is Nick Cannon having 7 kids with 5 different women hurting anybody? Well, that could be debatable. But this idea that marriage is about ownership, I think at some point in time, there are some people that's got that kind of puritanical look of marriage. I don't have that. Nah, I don't. I've never looked at marriage that way. My wife don't own me. I don't own her. That's not what this is. That's not the tie that binds. It's not about ownership. It's deeper than that. But I get the point. I think I get the point he's trying to make, but rotate.
Indoctrinated into it. Like, we have to have it this way. I'm not, I don't subscribe to that. I actually think women are blessing us. Those women and all women are the ones that open themselves up to say, I would like to allow this man in my world, and I will birth this child. So it ain't my decision. I'm following suit. So
I respect.
Yeah, I hear what he's saying, but it depends on the woman. Because there's some women out there that they don't believe in abortion. And whether it's casual or serious, if they get pregnant, they're going to be inclined to keep the child. But that's why I say, and I believe this 100%, that it's incumbent upon modern men to take control over your reproductive abilities so that you don't put a woman in that scenario. You make the decision. Is Nick Cannon just trying to dress up the fact that he like new ussy? Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. All this pontificating and all this shit, you just like to sleep with different women, B. And because you Nick Cannon and you got money, you can afford them. So it ain't no big deal to you that way. I think the true tale of the tape will be in 10, 15 years when we talk to Nick Cannon's kids. Will all of Nick Cannon's kids with multiple women feel loved? Will they all feel as if they had a relationship with their father? I think that's the real test of this. I don't know. You tell me. Is this some real shit or some dumb shit? All this goobly gob about I don't believe in a Eurocentric concept. Negro, you just like new ussy. You just like sleeping with different women and not wearing a condom. Talking about, should a woman choose? I mean, for some of these women, they get pregnant, they ain't got no choice because they don't believe in abortion. It's against, that's how some women people are. They can do the freakiest shit outside of marriage. As soon as they get married, they find Jesus. I mean, as soon as they get pregnant, they find Jesus. I don't get it, but okay. It ain't consistent, but we know that's the reality. You got some women out here to do the freakiest ish on the first date. Don't got no kind of relationship with this man, no kind of commitment. It's all about the sex. You a heathen, you a heathen, you a heathen. As soon as you get pregnant, I believe in God. You know, okay. I'm not here to judge you. I am here to judge Nick Cannon, though. Is this real shit or dumb shit? Y'all tell me, but let me go back to this and finish off the tape and the clip, and then we'll go straight to your comments.
Respect that game you running on them ladies. Wow, Nick, that's what you spitting? That's the dream you selling? Wow.
So the women that
tell them, Charlamagne.
They the ones that making the choice.
So the women you have in a relationship with, they don't mind that
every woman that I deal with or dealt with, obviously my life is on Front Street
Correct.
at all times. They know how I feel, and it usually is a concept. Like I'm not going around like who I'm gonna impregnate next. Like, nah, it's usually scenarios and like that's.
Actually, you are, sir. Stop it. Charlamagne called him out, man. That's the game you running. Oh, it's on you. You the woman. You the queen. You invite me in. Some women will fall for that shit. Like, oh, I'm making the choices here. I mean, let's be real here, man. As men, we know how the game is. We know how the game is. The best way to get something from a woman is to make her believe that she's making all the choices. And then she'll just give it to you. Stop the lies, Nick Cannon. And you are running around here impregnating women because you ain't using no damn condoms.
That's the thing. People say certain things in the public, but when you really look at how a family infrastructure is designed, the woman is the one that always leads and makes the decision.
I agree wholeheartedly. I say that all the time. I say that we had to do some real societal brainwashing to make people believe that men were the actual leaders.
What do you think? Is that real-ish or dumb-ish? Is that real? Does he got a point there? Like, yeah, why am I subscribing to this Eurocentric model of fatherhood? Or is he just trying to dress up the fact that he just a womanizer, dropping his seed all around the country, all around the world? The world, Craig. All around the world. And because you a big-time star and you a somebody and you got money, you can get that off. If Nick Cannon was broke, well, I was going to say something, but I saw this episode of Fix My Life with Iyanla Van Zandt. They talked to this brother. He's just a blue-collar worker, man, just an average Joe. And this motherfucker had he had a whole bunch of kids. I can't even call the number. He may have like 19 kids by all these. I'm like, what kind of woman want to be baby mama number 9? Baby mama number 6? Damn, where can we get some self-esteem? Nick Cannon think he's slick, y'all, running that game on the women, talking about something. Oh, it's a woman's world, and she just invites you in. I can see women going for that, especially they look into Nick Cannon's eyes like, you're really here. I saw you on TV on Wild 'N Out. You're really here in my bedroom. It's my choice. Uh-huh, sure it is. Mm-hmm. TNT writes, it's I want my cake and eat it too. It's the I ability to commit. So the alternative is to find women who will accept sharing one goofy ass man. It's a lot of women that do that. Ron writes, right. Rachel writes, good morning, family. Drop writes, you need a license to get married. Charles writes, pretty much. TNT writes, young and dumb. Clarence writes, reading too much into it, Nate. TNT writes, I think not. Brittany writes that part, Nate, because it seems like he has some deeply rooted issues. How his dad tell him to have all these kids, yet his mom almost aborted him. Nakia writes, dumb-ish. Janice writes, Nick likes creating life. I mean, creating life, the process of creating life is pretty fun. We know that. Sharon writes, Nick Cannon is full of it. Totally. I heard him say he is afraid of commitment. Okay. Maurice writes, Nate possibly know right from wrong. We know that if we have unprotected sex, a child is possibly to be born. That's on both parties. I don't believe in abortion either, right? Don't believe in abortion, but don't want to get a vasectomy. It's some men who don't believe in that. I'll be honest with you. Before I got my vasectomy, I struggled with it. I struggled with it because of how I viewed myself as a man and my role in this world as a man. And I'm like, man, do I want to cut off the ability for me to have children? Well, after I had a couple of them, I was like, yeah, I do. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and knock this off. You know, at the time, I planned on staying there with the wifey, so I ain't plan on being with any other woman in that way, like in a serious kind of way, right? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't believe on having more kids than you can afford. That's just me. Now, somebody else might look different, but I can understand how a man might have to think twice about that. You know, I can understand that. But for me, it was real simple because you in a long-term relationship with a woman, let's say y'all married. Y'all don't want no more kids. It's harder on her body. Like women shouldn't be taking birth control for years and years and years and years and years. That shit ain't good for their body. You can't do that. You can't say you love a woman. Y'all both decide you don't want to have children, but then you're going to put the onus on her. What kind of man does that? That ain't no man. That's not loving a woman. You don't want her to put herself in a situation where she having some kind of side effects from long-term use of having birth control. So that falls back on a man. And as I said, I got the snip. I had a reaction to it, man. My testicles blew up like this. No lie. It was not a pretty sight. I was like, what in the hell did I do? But they shrunk back down after a while. I'm being honest with you. They shrunk back down after a while. It wasn't all that painful. It was just psychologically more than anything else. I'm looking at my testicles like, this ain't right. This ain't right. But after the swelling went down, which is very rare, I just had a reaction to it. My body can be sensitive. And I mean, it was no different. Matter of fact, it was better because I had peace of mind. Ain't no more coming out of this. And I was happy. Clarence writes, if a man had multiple children with a woman, he's a womanizer and the baby maker. If a woman sleeps with multiple men, she's a whore. That's the mindset that he's talking about being injected into the minds of Africans here in America. You're right. That is what he's saying. Clarence, you're right. But what I'm asking is that real shit or dumb shit? That's what I'm asking. TNT writes, kids don't ask to be here and they want a father or a mother that is present, that will be at their games, take them to daddy-daughter dances, help them with their homework, etc. Right. I'm with you on that. You're right. That's why I said the real test of Nick's. See, I got to criticize Nick Cannon a little bit because he's being selfish. Because in that clip, I didn't hear him talk about something that is the most important thing, and that is the children. So sure, Nick, you don't subscribe to a Eurocentric model, and that gives you the mentality so you can sleep with different women and have babies all over the country and all that kind of stuff. But what about the kids? That's what's best for your kids? That's the real question. I said in 10, 15 years, Nick Cannon's kids will be old enough to get on TikTok and Facebook. And then we'll find out what kind of dad he really is. I'm just saying. Maurice writes, stop making it look like the brothers are at fault for everything. There's birth control for women too. Yeah, but I'll leave that to the women. As a man, Maurice, I talk directly to other men. And if you're in a long-term relationship with a woman and y'all don't want to have kids, it is not manly. It is less than a man if you putting all of the onus on her to not have children, meaning that she has to take birth control. That's bad for her body. When all you have to do is go see your doctor, it's an outpatient procedure. Get in, get that snip. In 2 weeks, you'll be back to fully functioning. And then y'all ain't got to worry about it no more. But I suspect that a lot of men don't want to go that route because they don't want to go through the pain and they don't want to permanently make a change to themselves. It's some of that weak ass man shit to me, Maurice. I could be wrong, but that's how I look at it in some cases. I'm speaking generally. I know there's exceptions to every rule. And when you speak generally, you miss elements of the point, and I get it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, we just can't put that on the women. That's got to come back on us. That's your penis. That's your testicle. You know what I'm saying? Those yours. You know, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Philosophy writes, preach. He talked about that, Nate, did he? What's up, Dante? He talked about that? I must have missed it. That's why I said just in that clip, because a one clip does not represent an entire interview. I already know that. Janice writes, you are right. A tubal ligation is much more complicated and dangerous to a woman than receiving a vasectomy. Yes, it is. And that's what the doctors told us. When we decided, okay, we had enough children. We good. We Gucci. You know what I'm saying? We Gucci on this. Let me see. Child support is cheaper than alimony. Maurice writes, the man is a whore too. Danita writes, I know we all family here in the chop shop, but Nate, TMI. Why? I've talked about it before. You talking about my vasectomy and the testicles blowing up? I mean, I'm just telling you. I keeps it real with you. I don't have no shame in my game. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, the way it needs to be talked about. People need to know. Men need to know. Yeah, you can have a reaction to it. And it's very uncommon. Like what happened to me was very uncommon. Very uncommon. I know a couple brothers that had it. They was in and out. Nothing. 2 weeks, back to normal. And again, to the fellas out there that might be thinking about it, nothing changes. It doesn't change sex, your pleasure of sex at all. It don't change the climax. Everything operates the exact same way, which is kind of interesting. I'm like, damn. Modern medicine. Modern medicine. All right, let me take another pause for the cause. Again, today's show is being brought to you by my good friends over at renewcommunitychurch.org. They got a brand new series that they created to inspire you, to enrich your life. Check this out, and we'll be right back.
The words for today are attract more money. It takes 60 seconds for the universe through the invisible law of attraction to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you because you are just 60 seconds away from attracting more money. Take the next 60 seconds and attract more money in your life by telling the financial story for 60 seconds, 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it takes to change your life. Now say this financial story out loud 3 times a day. Today, I accept my divine and human right to have more than enough money, to be a financial blessing to self, family, and others. I will use my financial abundance today to bless so many people in this universe. Money is my friend. I share my money with my friends. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
Baby, I see you hanging with your friends, chilling day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Peeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me. Done for me lately. Wish kind of love that I used to know. Baby, so can you take me on a date? The simple things you do to make me stay. Now it's like you don't even try. I used to wonder why, but now I'm left with no more tears to cry. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Just a quick break. Quick break. I'm still with you. Let's get back into it, shall we? 513-873-7134. Listen, if you like this type of content, sorry about that. I can see a little flex there. It's the OCD in me and drive me crazy. If you like this kind of content, please like and share it. Please like and share it. If you like these kind of show, I'm based in Greater Cincinnati area. If you like this kind of talk, if you like this concept, please check us out on our Facebook page and on CDM's page, Send Digital Media. And the message is simple. I mean, the mission is simple: amplify Black voices in the Greater Cincinnati area and beyond. Quite simple. Black voices have been suppressed for far too long in this city, and I'm making it my personal challenge to try to change that. If that's something you can get into, then hit us with a share. Check out some of the other podcasts and live stream shows, and support us in what we're doing. Support these creative folks that I'm working with. A lot of really smart, intelligent people, and some fresh perspective and fresh voices as well. So that's something you can get down with. You can check out this show weekdays, 7:30 a.m., typically until about 9:30 a.m. ish. We were going to 10, but I kind of curtailed that a little bit. And we'll see how things go once we get back to school. I might go early. I might start the show at 7 to accommodate the early start. We'll see how it goes. You can always hit me with a direct message. If you want to use this platform to get the word out about your business or your event, then hit me with a direct message. Hit me with a direct message, and either on this show or any of the podcasts that we're working with, a lot of really good, smart, intelligent people, the kind of spokespersons for your brand that you want to work with. All right. So hit me with direct message and I'll be in contact with you immediately. Good morning to you. Hold on. I'm getting okay, great. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Nat writes, I have one child. I've been responsible and I ain't getting cut. I get it. Ben writes, if you want to go raw, you got to get the saw. I wouldn't recommend going raw these days because you can't trust nobody these days. You can't trust a soul. People will say anything to get what they want. Danita writes, we didn't want any more kids either. Talking about with the doctor, Billy getting a vasectomy just made more sense. I made sure he had frozen peas and all was well. Right. It just makes more sense. If you're in a long-term relationship with a woman and you love her, then go and get that vasectomy, man. Take one for the team. Women bear the brunt of bringing children into this world. They put their lives at risk. The least you can do as a man that's in a long-term relationship with a woman is to get that snip. That's the least you can do. I'm talking about the bottom of the barrel. That's the least you can do. And I keep sharing this because nobody told me about vasectomies when I was a teenager or even a young adult. I didn't learn shit about that until I was in my 30s. I was like, what? Tummy? What is that? A vasectomy? Is that a tummy tuck? What is that? I had no idea. And I'm not sure if I would have gotten it earlier and I would have no children at all. I don't know. But I'm just saying that when you know better, you do better. And information is power. And there's a lot of men out there that are not fit to be fathers. You just ain't fit. And you know you ain't fit. And you don't really want it. Or you're dealing with a woman that you don't really want to have children with. So my thing is, the way I look at life when things go bad or something happens is I always look at myself. I always look at myself first. I rarely point the finger. I look at myself and I ask myself, what could I do better? What did I do? And I don't know, for me, that's very empowering. I bet on me in any situation. And so I look at personal responsibility as a very, very serious thing. And so I had to be personally responsible. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Nathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Doing well, sir. Welcome. Fame.
No, this is Say from the project.
Oh, Say from the project. What's up, Say?
Yeah, not a lot, man. Pardon me. Every now and then you'll say something, about once every 6 months, every 7 months, that I'm like, you know what? Brother might have a point there. And I think you're kind of spot on about Nick Cannon. Dude, just say you got money and you like women. You know what I'm saying? He tried to do the fake woke thing on us, and people are buying that. That is top tier, by the cookie jar level, fake woke, saying that I'm having all these kids because I'm not buying into the European concept of fatherhood. That's the most fake woke statement of the year so far. And he needs to just admit that that's what it is with him. He just has an insatiable appetite for new women. Because they all look the same, race indeterminate, kind of busty women. You know what I'm saying? All 5 of those baby mamas, Mariah Carey included, look the same. But while you're talking about what we're gonna, in 15 years, we'll be able to determine his fatherhood. What do you think about Dr. Dre's daughter in that situation? Have you been hearing about it?
Yeah. She grown, talking about she not getting supported.
Yeah. But if I'm worth 800 million, I ain't going to give my kids the chance to come on the internet and talk greasy about me. That's just you've got excess upon excess to make sure your kids and your immediate family is straight. That shouldn't even be an issue. I think there's an issue with Dr. Dre. I have a real problem with that. Because, like I said, she was supposedly blowing an allowance, and he cut her off in 2020. Even if that happened, here's $1 million or $500 of my Apple stock, and here's another $500 in cash. Sit your ass down and behave. Put her into a credit counseling, a money counseling class. But if I got 800 million, I don't care how much of my kids blew. You're not going to go on the internet and talk slick and greasy about me. I'm going to make sure you straight for always and forever, as the song says. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I have dude, you have too much. You have too much for her to be even considering doing something like that for money, for attention. Now, I understand when her mom had her, she was 15. I don't know how old Dre was. I don't know if he was, an adult during the R. Kelly thing or what, but it's just the principle of the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned. And that's all I got today, sir. Shout out to my brethren, the old middle, and I'll holler at you soon, B. Oh!
Yeah, I agree on both accounts. Go ahead and rack them today. Yeah, 2 for 2. I agree. Nick Cannon is on some fake woke-ish, talking about Eurocentric. I don't know. Man, you just like women, and you famous, and you got money, and you can get it off. That's it. I'm subscribed to see. Yeah, I bet you don't. When I was in my early 20s, I didn't subscribe to no Eurocentric model either. I was wanting to get it as many as I can. Yeah, I get it. Just keep it real. And then with Dr. Dre, I'm like, I'm worth $800 million. Ain't no way in the world my kid's ever going to be homeless. So the way I read that story is there might be some mental illness, some drug abuse, something like that going on, because I'm worth 800 mil. My kids could never be cut off. I'm not worth 800 mil and my kids can never be cut off. They're never going to be cut off. If you hear about me cutting my kids off, you better believe they deserved it. I had no other choice. And I'm worth 800 mil. I'm going on the low hire somebody to follow you around and make sure you're taken care of. That's just what's going to happen. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. This is Donita. How are you?
Hey, Danita, welcome. I'm doing well.
Just a couple of things. I'm 38 years old. Come on, you have to take care of yourself. It does not matter how much money your parents have. By then, you should be self-sufficient. I mean, Dominique is 29 years old. We don't take care of him. When he was in college playing football, we didn't want him to work because he needed to study. You know, he had practices. He had too much going on. So we made sure that he had what he needed. But once Dominique got out of college, life becomes on him. Now, I'm not saying if he needed help that we wouldn't help him, but we're not going to support him. And he's only 29. He can be a man and stand up on his own. We have to let our kids know, now that you're an adult, it's time to start adulting. And 38, come on, Nate, really? 38 years old?
Well, she's homeless though. That's different. Like you wouldn't let Dominique be homeless.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right.
But, well, I don't know. Here's my thing. If we were giving him money, and from what I understand, the money just stopped 18 months ago. So what was she doing with that money that entire time? You know what I'm saying? Like, were you making bad decisions? Now, if Dominique had kids, the kids is coming with us. You get yourself together. But, bruh, man, you got to stand up on your own. Now, I wouldn't see my grandkids be homeless, but you go figure it out. And I wouldn't support him. Now, my grandkids, they wouldn't be on the street because it's not their fault. But he'd have to stand up and be a man and figure it out.
So would you take the kids in, or how do you support the grandkids without supporting him?
Yes, I would take the kids in. The kids would come with us. And then he'd have to figure it out for him. Because I would never see my grandkids on the street because, you know what I'm saying? They don't have anything to do with his bad choices. Because obviously that's got to be bad choices. If you getting money every month, what are you doing that now when that money stops, you're homeless? That just does not make sense to me. It had to be something. But I wouldn't see my grandkids suffer. But he a grown man. He'd have to figure that one out. He'd have to figure that out for himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I understand. I get it. Anything else, Danita?
My other thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing on the vasectomy issue, and this is taking it a little different route than you went, but and I do agree, it is so much easier for the man to get the vasectomy. You know, a woman, we can't stay on birth control forever. You know, those hormones are not good. The older you get increased risk of blood clots and strokes and things. So a woman cannot stay on birth control forever. Tube ligations are more intrusive than a vasectomy. But the part that I don't understand is why is it as a married woman, my husband would have to sign and agree for me to have a tube ligation, but I don't have to sign for him to have a vasectomy. And women are discouraged. Younger women who can say, you know what, I don't want any more kids, they are actually discouraged from getting tube ligations because doctors will tell them, well, you may change your mind later. That's just, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Why is it that a woman who says, I don't want any more children, I'm good, she would be discouraged. But a doctor would never do that to a man. Why does Billy have to sign for me to get a tube ligation, but he could go to the doctor without even telling me? Not saying that he would, you know what I mean? But he could go without even telling me, and nothing would be said.
Some of that old school sexism.
That ain't cool. Exactly.
Like treat women like they're children or something.
Huh?
Like treating women like they're children, and your husband is your father that's got to sign off for you. The hell is that?
Right. Like we couldn't make that decision. And it's just not, a woman should be able to say, I don't want to have any more children. Or even I've heard in cases where women who don't have any kids yet at all, they are really discouraged from having, from taking those measures. A woman should be able to say, I don't want any kids at all. And there's nothing wrong with that. Women, it just seems like in this society, men always want to make decisions for what happens to our bodies. And you need to get out of a woman's womb. It's none of your business. If she's a grown adult, she should be able to make those kind of decisions for herself.
Agreed.
But that's the patriarchal society that we live in.
Agreed. 100%.
All right. Have a good day, sir.
You too. That's Danita checking in. And she gave Drop a break today. No fact checking, don't drop. I know he's like, Whew. Thought she was coming for me, but he didn't call in. So, hey, listen, folks, I've had more fun than any man should have today. It has been a pleasure being with you. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7:30 a.m. We'll chop it up on everything, people, politics, and pleasure. Remember our motto. Let's say it together. Winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm Nate Ivey,
Yeah.
and I'm out.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'm a spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes.